or that force which animates the body, like the definition we just read, then your body is dead. Okay? So you clowns are off. Alright? Your soul and your spirit are not the same thing. Okay? And we're going to prove it even further through Scripture. Alright? We're going to prove it even further through Scripture before we go into the other topic. Okay? Let's go to 1 Kings 17 and 8. 1 Kings 17 and 8. And we read to verse 22. It says, "And the word came unto him, saying," now this is the Lord talking to Elijah. It says, "Arise, get thee unto Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee." So he arose and went to Zarephath, and when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there, gathering of sticks. And he called to her and said, "Fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel, that I may drink." And she was going to fetch it, and he called to her and said, "Bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand." Scroll down. Whoops. And she said, "As the Lord thy power liveth, I have not a cake, but an handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks, that I may go and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die." And Elijah said unto her, "Fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me thereof a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make for thee and thy son. For thus saith the Lord power of Israel, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail until the day that the Lord sendeth rain upon the earth." And she went and did according to the saying of Elijah, and she and he and her house did eat many days. Verse 16, "And the barrel of meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of the Lord which he spake by Elijah. And it came to pass after these things, that the son of the woman, the mistress of the house, fell sick, and the sickness was so sore that there was no more breath left in him." Now wait a minute, let's see what that word there in the Hebrew is for breath. It said there was no more breath left in him. Alright, now the Hebrew word there is neshama. Alright, neshama, and I'll play the audio real quick.
Strong's H 5397. Neshama. Neshama.
Of course, this, that's the Yiddish, that gutter rat tongue, but it's na sha ma ha, or nashama. Okay, and it says breath, spirit, the spirit, and it says down here, spirit of man. Oh, that's the same thing we read in James and in Revelation. Okay, except there it was in the Greek. It's the spirit. That's the force which animates the body. Okay, because what did it say back in Kings? Let's go to it. Lost the verse. Let's read it again. 2 Kings 17 and 17. "And it came to pass after these things, that the son of the woman, the mistress of the house, fell sick, and the sickness was so sore that there was no more breath left in him," in his body. There was no spirit left in his body, meaning he was dead. His spirit left his body. Alright, like when Paul got stoned and he died. When you read in Corinthians, he said, I knew a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell. Talking about when he got stoned in the book of Acts, and his spirit left his body. Okay, and he was in the spirit world. Same thing is happening here in Kings. Alright, the woman's son died, and his spirit left his body. Okay, let me keep reading. Verse 18. "And she said unto Elijah, What have I to do with thee, O thou man of God? Art thou come to me to call my sin to remembrance, and to slay my son? And he said unto her, Give me thy son. And he took him out of her bosom, and carried him up into a loft, where he abode, and laid him upon his own bed." Scroll down. It says, "And he cried unto the Lord, and said, O my God, hast thou also brought evil upon the widow with whom I sojourn by slaying her son? And he stretched himself upon the child 3 times, and cried unto the Lord, and said, O my God, I pray thee, let this child's soul come in unto him again. Now, I didn't even look this up, but let's just look it up. Let's just look it up. Okay? And it's nafash. Nafash. Alright, the word there is nafash. Of course, it's going to say nefesh. Let me play the audio.
Strong's H 5315. Nephesh. Nephesh.
Okay, now let's read the definition. It says soul, self, life, creature, person, appetite, mind, living being, desire, emotion, passion, that which breathes, breathing substance, or being soul, the inner being of man. Wait a minute. What are you reading? What is it? Corinthians, it says, though the outer man perish, the inward man, though that's what it says, though the outward man perish, the inward man is renewed every day. So it's talking about your spirit. You got to know how to go in these things and be able to pick out the meat from the bones, alright, and be spiritual when you're reading these scriptures, which is what these clowns weren't doing. Okay? So that's what it's talking about. This is referring to the spirit. It's saying let the spirit of this boy, alright, it uses the word soul in the scripture, but it's saying let the spirit or the inner being of man return unto this boy again. Okay? Now let's keep reading. Verse 22. And the Lord heard the voice of Elijah, and the soul of the child came into him again, and he was revived. Now, just one more, if you couldn't see it, Salakia. One more, check the word one more time, okay? And it says soul, nafash, same thing. Same thing we just read, okay? Nafash, alright? You go to the definition, the inward being of man. Okay, we search out all these definitions. Okay, so that's what it's talking about. His spirit came back to his body, and then his soul was revived. Okay, which is a combination of your spirit and your flesh. Okay, so you clowns didn't even go into any of these words. You had all them dictionaries and thesauruses and Bibles, but you didn't even read them. Okay, you didn't even read them. To go in and break down the words and such, which is what you're supposed to do. Alright, like the scriptures say, study to show thyself approved, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightfully dividing the word of the truth. Alright, and you guys are hella ashamed right now. Okay, I know you guys are ashamed right now. It's only a matter of time before you take that video down, or those videos down, and probably even your old page. Okay, and the only reason you wouldn't is just because you're going to be proud. Okay? It's, oh, it was a slip of the tongue. No, it wasn't. Because it was 4 of you times 2 times that you read that scripture in Wisdom of Solomon. Okay? And that was in there throughout that whole lesson. And all this went over all y'all's heads. Okay? So now, let me read Hebrews 5 and 12 real quick. Further cut these clowns, okay? But these guys are they're trying to be teachers, okay? Trying to so-called teach Israel, alright? Because they're saying our elders have failed us. Okay, well, so you show us the way. Okay, what do we do? Alright? Because like the Elder Tahar was saying, alright, our elder, not you guys elder, alright, but our elders are saying, alright, you guys go ahead and be the leaders of Israel. It ain't no easy thing, okay? I personally can tell just by seeing just the hell they catch and how frustrated they get. Okay, and all kind of other circumstances. You could tell they get a whole lot of grief from Israel, okay? So let's read this. Hebrews 5 and 12, it says, for when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are become such as have need of milk, and not strong meat. Okay, and reincarnation, getting all deep into that reincarnation was meat for you guys, okay? Because reincarnation really ain't that hard. All right.